Here we are at Gracie Schwarzwald with our complete Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Self-Defense Course, and we're continuing on with various clinches. Again, I can't preach enough that if you're training Jiu-Jitsu, you need to be training standing clinch work as much as possible. Very unlikely if you're having to defend yourself that you're both going to be sitting on the ground holding onto each other's feet. Okay, it's going to start here, and I can't ask you, would you mind please coming down to the ground with me so we can fight? And not only that, I don't want to be standing here just throwing bombs at each other. Here, we get the clinch because we can nullify and predict attacks. And just like on the ground, you want to think about it like a guard. Okay, there isn't one guard. There's closed guard, there's half guards, there's delihiva, there's reverse delihiva, there's all these different guards. Same thing with clinches. They're tools, just like a guard is a tool. One guard may be better at sweeping than another guard. Another guard may be better at defending punches or submissions. You choose a guard depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish. Same thing with the clinch. I will choose the clinch depending on what it is I'm trying to accomplish. Sometimes I can't choose the clinch I want, I just get the clinch I can, right? So maybe you originally just here and we're arguing, I just get into some sort of clinch and then I work into different clinch positions. And then it's a tactical battle. The one of the things I tell you too is if you're training jiu-jitsu, another reason to learn all this clinch work is because it's fun, right? Just in the way that passing guard and playing guard is a tactical battle, it can be a lot of fun. Standing clinch work can, same thing, be a lot of fun. It can be a very tactical battle, you'll learn a lot. So right now we're gonna go into what is called, we call the 50-50 position, sometimes called an over-under position, okay? It's called the 50-50 because, like the 50-50 guard, it's an equal position. We're both in the same position. But I can move from this clinch to other clinches, okay? Of course, he can do the same. And the basic tenet is this. Now, just because we're neutral doesn't mean I can't have a better neutral, if you will. But he's gonna have an underhook, and I'm gonna be clamping my armpit closed. This is really important. I don't wanna hold like this if I can help it. It's too easy for him to pull out. I clamp my armpit, and I make a C clamp. My hand is wide open, and then it closes here. So he tries to pull the arm out. It's very hard, okay? This other hand is gonna be under his arm, and he's gonna do the same thing. So you'll see how we're neutral. Let's get on this side. Here, okay. Now, one thing, when you practice this, is don't just stand here like you're at the high school dance, okay? With the underhook, I wanna have that same leg forward. Okay, we'll cover this in the pummeling why, but in general, this, I have better balance. If I'm standing like this, I'm open to certain takedowns and I don't have a really great positioning balance. I don't have the ability to manipulate them as well. So I'm just gonna bring the leg forward with the underhook. My other hand is closed. My head is tight to his. I don't wanna be up like this where I can get headbutt, or he lets go with his right arm, throws a punch here, elbow. Okay, now come back this way. When you're grappling, it's okay to kind of be like this, but you have to understand the reason that that works is because of rules, right? What I mean by that is, if you and I are wrestling or you and I are doing jiu-jitsu, go ahead. Can I just move away the whole time?
No.
No, right? They're like, no, you got to engage.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm like this, here, he doesn't really have to worry about me really disengaging much. But hold on to me. It's a lot easier for me to disengage, right? Not to mention, you're going to eat knees, right? So when we come in, we want to be fairly posture. So now he tries to pull away, move your hips away. Knee me. It's a lot harder to knee me, right? It's counter to what you're going to want to do, which is to move your hips away, and it's often are taught. And again, at a pure grappling standpoint, you can do that because the guy's not going to try to disengage. He's going to try to fight you in the clinch. He's not throwing knees. He's not throwing elbows. So you can practice it that way, but I encourage you guys to really get into the habit of kind of being upright here, owning his space. Now, that's the neutral position. If I can make it a little bit unneutral, is my base and posture good, right? If I was like this, it wouldn't be so good, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't want this arm too far down his body. The more this arm is down his body, the more I'm getting off balanced. And I don't want to get off balanced to my underhook side. If I'm like this and I start to get off balance this way, I'm gonna start to lose my balance, okay? So what I want to do is bring my underhook high here, and if possible, if I go my hand like this, pull my arm down here. I'm gonna turn my hand, so now pull my arm down here, okay? You don't have to do it, but I want you really focusing on keeping that elbow up high, okay? So now I can also put weight down on this arm. I'm not gonna lean so far forward that I get kneed in the face, but here. So now go ahead. This is gonna be easier to position him into situations. So we get in. If you can, he's gonna lift that elbow, clamp the weight down, so now he's got good ability here. I'm off balance, he's got nice tight hips. It's gonna be hard for me to do a lot of these takedowns, okay? So that is our basic 50-50 clinch. You will use this very often. You will go to it or move through it. So really play with this position as much as possible. One quick thing I want to cover before I forget. When I go with double underhooks, I can do it in a way where it's kind of hard for him to punch me without compromising his position. If I'm like this, can you elbow me and punch me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if I'm tight like this, for you to elbow me and punch me with any power, you have to kind of lean back, right? But there's still the chance that you can get to my face. Mm-hmm. By doing this, my head is on the side of my overhook. Okay, very important that my head is not on this side because one, I'm off balance, two, I'm open to those strikes. But the advantage of this position is it's very hard for him to hit me with this arm. And with my head in this place, it's very hard for him to hit me anywhere on the front here where he can do real damage. He might be trying to hit me a little in the back of the head, but he's not gonna have a lot of power, and that's not really where I'm worried about getting hit. So when I'm here, and he's trying to hit me, he tries to hit me with this arm here. So this is a very good position to try to get to in a fight situation. You know, here I throw the punch, he's gonna cover, he's gonna go over, and he can be right here working into a control. Okay, so that is, again, our 50-50 clinch.